No. It started playing by itself, so I guess that means we're ready to go. Ah. Hi. Welcome. I dropped a video the other day that gained a bit of traction, and I spoke about how your thoughts are not secret. And this morning I felt the call to speak more on this topic, to sort of break it down a little bit. What I mean when I say this. Because the realm of experience is so vast. There are so many different ways that we can approach one and the same thing, because there are so many different levels of experience, so many different dimensions that we as one being is existing on at the same time. By this I mean that in the core of it all, we are one force of life expressing itself in an infinite number of ways. So when we speak of thought and of being human beings, we need to recognize that that we may think of thoughts. It's going to get a little bit funny with the words here, but we may think of thought in different ways. Because when we speak of people who can read minds, this is a human being that is tapping into, from their individual experience, tapping into something more than just the individual localized mind. We may call this psychic, we may call this mediums, whatever. When I dropped my video the other day, I was talking about something else. I was talking about the fact that as human beings, as anything in experience, we are interconnected. Human beings specifically have the beautiful gift of intention and of thought and of conscious thought. This is quite unique from our perspective of life. This is quite unique. In the grand scheme of all, probably not so unique, but that's another conversation. So as human beings, when we recognize that we are not one separate being, but we are an expression of an infinite amount of expressions from one source, from one being, we also understand our interconnectedness on a deeper level, not on a mental level, but on a deeper level of understanding what we are, the experience that we're having as a field of as a as a field of life of you we I often like to call it frequency, because that's how I personally experience the world. And for me, frequency makes sense, right? The different levels of being is simply different frequencies happening all at once. And as human beings, we experience being one separate thing. But when we look deeper, we understand, we recognize, we see that this is simply what it looks like on the surface level of things. We are this infinite flow of experience, of expression happening all at once. So when I say your thoughts are not secret, it means that my thoughts and your thoughts are all existing in the same dimension, in the same space. Nothing is secret because nothing is separate. And still, we have the expression here of a localized consciousness. And here is where we get to make our choice. Here we get to make our choice of the thoughts that we consciously are able to choose. Because the thoughts that we choose not only benefit ourselves, changes the frequency on which we live, but it also affects infinitely into the cosmos. Everything. Your choice of thought affects everything. The frequency that we choose to live on, with mind, with emotion, with physical being, affects everything around us. We may choose love instead of victimhood, instead of fear. If we have the physical safety of being in a non-threatening environment, we are incredibly privileged, and we can shift the state of the world simply by shifting ourselves. For the good of all, we may choose our thoughts. We may choose the frequency that we emit into the world. So when I say your thoughts are not secret, it means that you are, we are, I am one being. We receive and give to one another all the time. So how we choose to show up shifts our state of being into love, into joy, acceptance. And it seeps into the rest of the world. It seeps into everything because you're making a choice. You're taking a stand for a certain level of experience. And this is the beautiful, beautiful blessing that human beings are given. The ability to choose. What do I desire this experience to be? What do I desire this world to be? As within, so without. As within, so without. As above, so below. Everything is the same thing. And we have the infinite power to create. Mwah, 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 mwah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Blessings, 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 blessings.